Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another fun-filled edition of EEP Live, Truck and Tractor Pulling with Kendra Barnhart. How are you, Kendra?
I'm a little tired, still a little Gordyville hungover, but it'll be okay.
Gordyville hungover, as in Gordyville, lots of action, or did we?
Lots of action, a little
Okay.
bit of sleep. So
Well,
it usually
that's an
takes a
indoor
couple
pool.
days to get back
Yeah,
together.
yeah. I
So
talked to I talked to Clint today a couple times briefly, and I was going to have him come on. I really didn't want to bother him because I know he's still catching up. I know we know how it is after Keystone. It takes
yeah,
us, it takes me a solid week, and of course, now as
to
soon as I
remember
come
where you are.
as soon as I come home, it's questions with the committee, and then we have money stuff to go over and make sure
hmm
listen to complaints. We always have plenty of complaints, and then it's I got to dive right into video work, and
hmm
that's a solid 2 weeks for me. So,
And
but
pictures and all that fun stuff.
yeah, that too. When I'm not falling over walls and messing my shoulders up, I'm okay. But he did say that 2022 they're already I guess the Michiana Event Center is
hmm
already making plans for a show in 2022 with What
Yep.
Smoke and Promotion. So that's fantastic. And I kind of threw a hint out there to him. I said, so we're looking at a two for show. We're going to see Gordyville and Shipshewana or Gordywana. We might as well call it Gordywana from here on out.
Yeah.
He didn't I get an answer on that, so I'm sure that'll be something he'll be planning. But like last time he was on, we had him on here. We talked about doing an indoor points series,
hmm
and maybe this might be an opportunity, maybe to get something like that started. It's just talk. We're not going to do it. He's not going to
hmm
do it yet. I don't know, but we could certainly incorporate some classes at Keystone as well. I think I mean,
Definitely.
don't want to speak out of turn here, but and then you've got if we can get the advent of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is a fantastic indoor event as well. I miss going there. Went there all but the last couple of years, but they run a lot of similar classes. We can actually make
We could
an
make
east
it
east
work. Yeah.
kind of sort of east of the Mississippi indoor point series, and there's some other events, Kansas City, so,
Yeah.
but that would be cool to look into. But I'm glad to hear that Shipshewana is definitely on board for another show. So that tells me I wasn't there. Kendra was, so we're going to kind of
Yeah.
lean on her to let us know just how good the show was there and how good the track. So, Kendra, won't you just take a few minutes, and just fill us in a little bit how things went, how the classes were, and I
So
do know
every
there was. I'm sorry. I know there was 570 plus, or as Clint put it, 570 ish
yeah.
entries, or I'm assuming hooks actually.
hmm
So that's a big show. That's a lot of pulling action, which we expect out of those guys.
Yes.
So, but fill us in, Kendra.
So Shipshewana, Gordywana, whatever we want to call it, it is the facility itself is top notch. Um, Excellent heat in the building. Thursday was probably the warmest day in the pits, only because there was a lot less going in and out. Friday and Saturday, obviously, they're busier days. But still, it was comfortable back there. Like I just had a long sleeve, short sleeve, and sweatshirt on, and I was plenty warm. In where the track actually was, they said they keep the heat set on 65 degrees, and I'd believe that it was 65 degrees in there the entire time.
That's
Um,
comfortable. Yeah.
yeah, the track held up beautifully for all 6 sessions. There was very, very few classes. I don't even know if there was any where it was first puller was first place and everybody just kind of fell behind. Um, the only time the sled setting might have been just a little bit off was the 87 Light Pro class on Friday night. They ended up having 14 full pulls, which when you're only taking 8 to the finals, that's a little much. But out of 6 sessions of 570 hooks, it's okay to miss one class, and they put on a heck of a show. So, um,
That's great.
but yeah, it was wonderful facility, plenty of room for everybody to get in there. Um, a lot of times at indoor pools, you're not allowed to have support vehicles in there just because there's not enough room. They didn't encourage support vehicles, but if you had to have one, like all the mini rods and stuff,
Right.
they had plenty of room for them to store it. Um, I do know that they are going to be installing more ventilation, which will help with some of the alcohol classes. I think they said, yeah, just Squatchy had a heck of a run. He was the first one to get that full pull. I think he went 310 feet or something. So 300-foot track, definitely a lot different than a normal indoor pool. I think Keystone's like 260 feet or so. All around good time. I don't think they start. I think one session might have been like 10 minutes late. So their timekeeping was 100%. Announcers kept everybody entertained. The only complaint I had was all the food places shut down at like 9 o'clock.
Oh,
So,
that's not good. The one thing
so
pullers like to do is eat, 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 and I mean eat till midnight past. So
yeah. So, you're standing around the pits drinking all night and want to go to like an IHOP or something, and
there's
you
no
go to.
drinking and pulling.
Oh, there's not. That's true. I forgot. I have pictures that say otherwise.
Oh my!
But no, it was a great time. Super great people that ran the facility. I really had no complaints, like I said, other than the food, which that's not Clinton's fault or anybody else's fault.
Right.
That's just the town we're in. So, uh-oh. You look puzzled.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just checking out another screen here. That's okay.
Oh.
But, I just want to say, I see David Kaufman. The first time I've noticed actually came in on the chat. Anyway, David, how you doing? I won't get into any details, but I know there's some things going on in your family, David. And I want you to know we'll keep your family in our prayers. We wish you the best. Not you personally, but you know where I'm going with it. And I hope it's okay that I said something. So everybody keep the David Kaufman family in your prayers. Justin Hopkins, Squatchy, as we used to call him. That I got to see a picture of that Anna Galloway. Actually, I was talking to her on Instagram. There's a nice picture of Justin sitting up on the sand pile, if you will. So that was I'm sure a pretty good run. I haven't seen. I'm going to have the DVD set soon whenever Clint finally gets around to it. And folks, I guess you can actually still purchase the live feed, which obviously isn't live now, but you'll still be able to watch the entire show, or help Clint out financially as well, and order a DVD set that will last forever. And what's smoking what'ssmoking.net would be the place to do either or, to still continue to order the stream or just order a DVD set. I mean, that's something you can hang on to. And I don't know how long the live streaming thing is available for, but the DVDs will last you forever to take care of them. So probably a year, yeah. But just order the DVD set and help him out, and their video where his brother usually does most of the filming. And I've already told him if this is going on next year, I will be there. So I'm going. I miss my winter indoor pool, something terrible. Hopefully it works out where I can get away for as many days as possible to come out there. So.
But, and I will give a shout out, something that I thought was just absolutely incredible. The fundraiser they were doing for the lady. I did make it back, sweetie. It was marginal there at best. The fundraiser they were doing, I think her name was Megan. I can't remember what her name was, but the lady with cancer.
Scott.
Megan Scott, yep. Mm-hmm. They raised over $25,000 for her.
That is fantastic. She's battling cancer. I'm sure the doctor bills are piled high, and that is going to go a long way. That's fantastic. But that's the generosity of the pulling community.
Yes,
and
it was
fans, pullers, crews, families, everybody. I mean, thank you. I'm sure they are very much appreciative of your help. So.
Yep.
How you doing, Brain Jack? I don't know if that's supposed to be Brian or Brain, but I don't want to ask. Clayton Sweeney has joined us.
Couldn't come out to Gordywana, but he'll come on Facebook and pick on me, I'm sure.
Wasn't the trailer there?
The truck and trailer were there.
Okay.
Couldn't believe it. But yeah, Jamie said he refused to drive the Peterbilt out in all that snow, so he went with Sweetie's truck and trailer.
That's a brave young man there. And Toro 220D, that would be Ralph Driscoll, our newest, latest board moderator. Thanks for coming in here tonight, Ralphie. Ralphie. Lynn Clark. So
Yeah,
far
far
as
as
the
the
sheep
color.
go. Yeah, I heard there was wool flying off the tractor when they made their pass. Their first pass. That was a joke I saw on Facebook or somewhere. But
Yeah.
do you know what you're talking about? I don't know. Probably
No,
not.
definitely not.
But anyway, I mean, none of us were there. So, but anyway, we're going to go over the results. And I mean, it's a slew of them. What we've elected to do is do the top five in each class. I'm going to do a session, then she'll do one back and forth. So we don't talk ourselves hoarse, hopefully. So, but like Clint did say, it was 500, in his words, 570 ish hooks. Uh, and I'm sure there was pretty much, I know the sleds that were there are really good equipment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we have any major smoke tube issues or?
So I know of two that caused a pretty large break. The one time they actually replaced an entire section,
Mhm.
which actually probably sped up the process. Adam Diaz was one of the ones that really, which I think
Yeah.
he broke it at Keystone one year too.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not his fault, but it just happened to him. But they were very good at keeping the crowd entertained during that whole process. Had a couple little games, auctioned off a couple things for the fundraiser. So you didn't realize how long it was taking them to fix the smoke tube, which was nice. Wasn't like you were just sitting there watching them work. So
Right. That's great. Well, I guess we'll get started. I mean, we're already
already 12 minutes in.
almost 15 minutes into this. So we'll go with session one, obviously. We'll start with that. I don't know about class orders. I lined these up according to the way they were posted on the internet. So if they're wrong class wise, we're just going to tell you the class. It may not be in a specific order the class pulled. So,
Mhm.
but session one, this usually helps. 6,500 Pro Farm class. Looks like there was five. Just there was five, so we're good. The winner was John Calvary with the Big Jim International at 280 and 58. Second was Keith Durst with the Alzheimer's 190 American Pride at 264.94. Wow, it's almost 20 foot. Third was Jason Reffitt, the Farmar 460 Red Asset, 240 and 84. Fourth, Alan. I thought she wasn't getting my attention.
Yeah.
Alan Thompson was fourth with Sammy's Toy 2 at 236 and 36, and that's an Oliver. It's good to see a lot of different color. And fifth was Anna Reffitt with the Massey Ferguson, the Red Asset Light. And, oh, that was a broke. So, unfortunate there. Then we had the 4250 Heritage Pro Stock. I'm not familiar with this class. I might recognize some names, so I'll know. I probably have seen them pulled before. Just this must be something different name-wise for the class. But first was Roman Klein with an Oliver 77 at 243 and 44. Second was Charlie Stark with the Farmall 560 at 243 and 26. Third, Justin Bowles with the Oliver 88 at 239.94. And then from there on, we had Ray Rexing was a scratch. Lee Blanford, Garrett Moore, and Brian Farthing all were disqualified. I don't know if it's out of bounds, if they have an RPM limit or a mile per hour limit. I don't know. But
I do think they had a mile per hour limit on that class.
So there was 3 DQs and a scratch there. So 9,500 pound Pro Farm. Okay, big class. Top 5. Dwayne Mensch with the Black Harvester at 287.08 took the win. Second was Tyler Sandifer with the Old Granddad at 285 and 58. Third was Gary Lucas with the Little Mean Farmer at 278.44. Fourth was Tim Reif with the International 1206 at 278 and 24. And fifth was Dominic Holdgraffer with the Mama's Money International 1466 at 276.36. And there was a total of 24 in that class.
Hmm.
That's a big class. 9,500 pound hot farm flight number one. There was two classes this evening. 18 tractors in the class. Your winner was Brian Carrington with the Endless Case IH Optum 270. It's the pretty new sheet metal.
Hmm.
At 305.42. Second was Joe Adair with the Clodbuster at 302 and 36. Third was Kevin Smith with the Buckshot Reloaded at 301.24. Fourth, Josh Dutton with Full House, the International 1066 at 300.04. And fifth was Dan Mercer with More Milk Money at 299 and 32. And we had a few guys from the East get out there
So
and
yeah.
run, and I will go ahead and mention them real quick. Actually, I want to include Michael Page too. It's a classic super stock puller normally.
Hmm.
Was in eighth place. Ray Belak, which is an Eastern guy here in Pennsylvania, with the Rage in Red, he finished ninth. DJ Boop was 13th with the Black Stripe Addiction. John Foreman was 15th with It's Always Something. Matt Hauk was 16th with the Old Red International. And we'll say Trevor Hulton from New York with the Blue Vengeance. And most of those guys there pull with the Snyder County Tractor Pullers Association in central Pennsylvania. So, good showing, guys. It's tough competition out there. Man. I'll tell you, when you go west at Clint's Indoor Pools, man, you're going to be running against some very tough iron. So,
and they all had very reputable runs.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, nothing to complain about.
I probably should have read the distances for them, but
yeah.
Then you say, well, you could have read all of them.
So now we're show people.
That's right. Yeah, I see some Crocs comments. picking on Clayton's Crocs, I guess.
Yeah,
he likes to wear Crocs. The 12,000 King of 15 mile per hour class. There was 11 tractors, and the winner was Goose Graves with the Wild Goose Chase. Go figure. At 287.24, and that's an International 1466. Second, Jason Weir with the John Deere 4430 at 286 and 38. Third was Adam Moore with the Moore Power at 284 even. Fourth was Clayton Purley with a Good Run of Bad Luck. I like that name. 281.18. And fifth was Jesse Beeman from Cassopolis, Michigan with the Jesse Built International at 274 and 26. So looking down through there, I do reckon, I won't say what position he fell, but it was good to see Matt Fulmer out pulling indoors.
Yep.
Good job there. I call him Spanky. So excuse me.
We won't ask where he got that name.
It actually originated with Greg Peischer. Him and Greg Peischer were good friends, and that's how I met Matt, was through Greg. And then Greg went off and got married and all that stuff. And so I started calling Matt Spanky, and he moved away. He's farming out, I think, with the Smith family, Kevin Smith and them. That's where he farms now. So, or he was anyway. But 95 Hot Farm Flight number 2. 19 tractors in this class. And first was Marty Shambor with the Mayhem International. And it printed with no distances. So I apologize. I just now noticed that.
Well, I noticed when they were posting to Facebook, not all of them had distances either. So I'm wondering if it was just a oversight.
So maybe, yeah, okay. Second was Justin Fleck with the All Beef International. Third was Warren Loofborough with the Case IH Puma 210, still fueling around. Fourth is a name we're familiar with here from the East, and that's Chad Nesel.
Chad
Nesselrod. That's all. Okay.
Yep, Nesselrod.
Okay, Miss Interstate. But anyway, with his 1066 called Recap This, he was fourth. Good job, Chad. And fifth was Brian Rexing with his 1066 called Milk Money. And is anybody else we know? Nick Morrison was 15th. Dang it.
Yep.
But I'm not sure this was probably a 540 class, I'm sure. So you got to remember, Nick's a 466 tractor.
I think they were even more than 540. I don't remember what their rules were, but
yeah. But anyway, good job. Dwayne Sowers with the Blue Trifecta was 16th. Dave Walters, I recognize that name, and I'm sure, I say it's an International 1066 called Red Power, but I remember Dave Walters also pulling a John Deere. It was a pro stock, and I don't know if this is the same Dave Walters Uh,
I don't know the answer to that.
And the last class from session one uh, would be the 1950 Econo Rob, or many modified tractors,
Mhm.
and an interstate tractor. Greg Vandervoort took the win with Boosted Ego, very strong running tractor.
Yep.
At 318.88. And second place, Alan Pierce said say goodnight at 299.40. So that's a little bit of footage there. Good job, Greg. Third was Scott Vander Velden with the Adrenaline Addiction at 293 and 12. Fourth was Justin Sheldon with the Disaster Transport at 290.80. And fifth, David Eisentraut with the Independence Modified at 287.90. And that's the only Eastern tractor. Actually, Alan Persh is also Jackson Center, Pennsylvania, but I think that's Western PA, probably. So. But they have a nice club out there that runs. But good job, guys. Our Eastern guys went out there, some of them for the first time. Of course, it was everybody's first time at this event.
Yeah.
But pulling against those caliber tractors, so pretty tough deal, and they stuck it right out there and gave them a run for the money. The distances, like I say, weren't that far off from one another, so they did a good job.
I think they were all super happy. Like I said,
yeah.
I heard very, very little complaints all weekend long, which
that's awesome.
What more could you ask for?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure most all of them drove back on a trailer, so
yes.
Very good. So
yep.
Session 2 is all about you.
Yep. So session 2, we will start off with the 10,000 Pro Farm class. First place went to Mike Dixon on the Wheelin' and Dealin'. Second was Tim Vorwald on the Farmall 450 called Barnyard Buick. Third place was Terry Dahl with Two Bottom Binder. Fourth place went to Nathan Simon from Epworth, Iowa on Wild Child. And fifth place was Trey Neal from Monroe City, Missouri on The Kid's Inheritance. I love little funny names like that. Second, I don't know if it was the second class. The second one I'm going to talk about. Let's be real. I don't remember orders from anything.
That's okay.
The 4250 Heritage Pro Stock class. Charlie Stark on his Farmall 560 took the win. Second place was Brian Farthing on the Farmall 460. Third place was Roman Klein on the Oliver 77. Fourth place was Ray Rexing on his Farmall 460. And fifth place was Justin Bowles on his Oliver 88.
And that should have been maybe a finals class for them?
It doesn't say, but probably. Say, did you talk? Well, there was a 5250 class and a 4250.
Yeah. Well, I just read the 4250 qualifiers, so.
Oh, so that was the finals.
I'm sure that was. See, you weren't paying attention. See? Huh?
I might not have watched it. I might have already been in the pits celebrating. So.
I was talking about my boring presentation of the. Never mind.
Oh. So this was a finals class, the 1950 Econo Mini Rod. The finals class, taking the win again, was Greg Vandervoort with the Boosted Ego. Second place went to Greg Nordell with Problem with Authority. Third place was Matt Larson with the Money Pit. Fourth place was Alan Persh with Say Goodnight. And fifth place went to Scott Vandervelden with Adrenaline Addiction 2. The next class we'll go over is the 8500 Limited Pro Stock, which for everybody here on the East Coast is where our 7700 Light Limiteds pull. First place went to a familiar name but different guy, was Dave Doherty with his Case IH, the high price hooker.
Yeah, I didn't the Dave Doherty on there, not driving a red tractor. No.
Yeah, not to be confused with Dave Doherty with Buzzard Bait.
Yeah, he's one of them oddballs. He likes the alternative green.
Yeah, which Dave Doherty was out there in Shipshewana. So both Dave Dohertys were there, only one was pulling. Second place went to Roger Rue with One Mean Farmer. Third place went to Marty Smith driving Smokey Smith's Fast Forward. Fourth place went to Justin Massey on Old Red. And fifth place was Esden Bartling, who is named after Esben Lane, on his Case IH The Possum. Other notable finishes was Ben Flaherty with Smokin' Red. He got eighth place, so he did advance to the finals. And then Bradley Seal was 13th on his New Holland T7. And then Shane Scott and Timmy was doing the driving again. He was 19th, and Marty on his Ford 9600 was 20th place.
You don't think
really
we have an interstate fan there, do we?
Yeah, Sue. Hey, Sue. She was supposed to be there, and she wasn't. But we won't talk about that.
Uh-oh.
She decided to stay in Florida. I don't know what that's about.
Well, you're weird, Ralph. We'll just leave it at that. Not that I'm picking on Oliver fans, but you're different. I'm kidding. He said I'm an Oliver fan.
Yeah, I see that now. How's that determined with the cages?
Yeah, Logger John has. How's that determined with the cages? What Clint does is he runs. Sometimes it's maybe one, two, or more than two organizations collectively come together and make one class at his indoor events, and they basically try to take every association's rules and kind of meet in the middle, and to allow some organizations that do not require a roll cage, they will allow them in to run with those that do require in some classes. Obviously, when you get in, to a higher horsepower classes, that you're going to have a roll cage. But that's pretty much how I interpret how they make their rules for their classes at the indoor pool there. So that's why you see some of the, if you will, more stock oriented, not quite high horsepower classes don't have cages on them because their particular association does not require it. So they kind of take the rules collectively, combine them, and try to make it work. And so it usually works.
And they'll let some tractors that are under horsepowered have some more weight, and they usually nail it pretty good. I mean, look at the light pro stock class there, or the light limited pro stocks. There's 4 or 5 different organizations with 3 or 4 different sets of rules, and they're all right mixed in there with the top 5. So that's he's got it figured out now. So it's good.
Yeah. Yep. Even in the, I was there the very first year, all but the last 5 years now I've been there, but he right from the get-go, man, they were just on it. I mean, I was the first time I seen them get together with the the 3-point hitch deal, and that was instantly popular from then on. For all indoor events, even outdoors, people went to that. It's so quick to move the tractors. They really, they just knew what they were doing right from the get-go, and it just gets better and better. I mean, you have your off years, but Clint usually learns from that and moves on. So,
Yep. So 3 more classes real quick, all finals classes.
We like to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's okay. I do it plenty to other people, so we're good. The 5250 Heritage Pro Stock class, first place was Brian Farthing with the Showstopper. Second place was Josh Eichenberg with his Minimo G6. Third place was Mike Yealy with the Black Magic. Fourth place was Dale Marling with his IH560. And fifth place was Jim Matson-Baker with Rated Experimental. I'm proud of myself for getting that one on the first round. Next class,
I bet it's Bacher though, not Baker.
Hey,
it's BACH, right?
Yeah. I'm close. That's all that matters. The 12,000-pound King of 15 miles per hour class. The finals, first place went to Jason Wurr with the John Deere 4430. Second went to Goose Graves with the Wild Goose Chase. Third place went to Adam Moore with More Power. Lots of play on their names here in this class. Fourth place went to Clayton Purley with Good Run of Bad Luck. And finally was Jesse Bemmett with Jesse Built. And then finally, the 9500 Pro Farm class finals, first place went to Tim Reif with the IH 1206. Second went to Dominic Holdgrafer with Mama's Money. Third place went to Dwayne Munch with Black Harvester. Fourth place went to Gary Lucas with The Little Mean Farmer. And fifth place went to Paul Graff with Leftovers. And that ended the night for session 2.
Or the first night of the show.
Or the first day, first night, whichever, yeah.
Then we had session 3 on Friday. I believe right around noon they started, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Something like that. 12,000 farm stock. This is probably another class you might see a ROPS, you might not see anything. You might see a cage. I wasn't there, so until I see the video, I don't know what there was. So, but there was 11 tractors, and wait a minute, 12 tractors. The numbers are wrong at the bottom. Okay, 12 tractors. Taking the win was Adam Moore with his 1466 International at 289.36. Second is a name I'm very familiar with, and that's Josh Heydrich with Jenny's Worst Nightmare. Always some tough running John Deere out of Illinois at 288.92 was second. Third, Kayla Heydrich, also with Jenny's Nightmare at 285.20. Fourth was Jason Kleppe with the Constant Aggravation 1066 at 284.82. And fifth was Gene Flanagan and with the Smoking Hot International at 281.78. And I will say all but 2 tractors were internationals out of those 12. So but, you got 2 John Deeres were second and third, and that's the Heydrich family. Those things are always tough runners. That's for sure. 9,000 Super Farm. Huge class of 18 tractors. Marty Shambor took the win with the International 1466 he calls Mayhem at 304.14. Second was Colton Bartelt with the Just Getting Started.
The other Squatchy.
Yeah, the other Squatchy. At 297.04. Third was Karen Bartling with the Possum, familiar with that tractor, 296.66. Fourth was Warren Loofborough with the Still Fueling Around Case IH, 296.56. And fifth was Bonnie, I'm going to say it the other way, Doggerty, with the high price hooker at the Case IH 180 at 294.66. And once again, that was a 12 or 18 tractor class. I don't see anybody from here. Mike Petrie from Arcade, New York was there with the Sudden Impact. He was 17th. So, big class. 6,000 limited super stock, lightweight, pretty cool little alcohol slash. Yeah, there's some diesel burners in here, it looks like. Class of 14. Steve Zenz took the win with the white 125. There you go. Called Z Ride. Zenz. The last name Zenz, called Z Ride.
Getting in on the Z team over here.
There you go.
That's probably what caused him to win was the Z there going on.
Okay. Yeah, he took the win at 301.80. Second was Chad Zakow with Another Bad Habit, a 666 International at 296.06. Third was Floyd Shingleton with the Semper Fi Case IH. 295.04. Fourth, Jamie Barger, I'm familiar with that, with the Haywire, 289.30. And fifth, Andy Pruitt, familiar with that family as well. Third, Massey Ferguson at 286.16. Let's see, Old Rags. I'm going to say Old Rags was 6. That's always kind of one of my favorites to see. I always saw it a lot down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Lindsey Moore. He did take 6 at 284.54. So.
That was a really fun class to watch. That was a very entertaining class.
Lots of color, fuel combinations. It's a neat deal. Very good class to watch. Let's see. 10,000 Pro Farm Finals. We'll just read them all. They took the top 8 from the qualifier session. Taking the win was Mike Dixon with the Wheeling and Dealing International. A lot of red wins, man. 305.08. Second was Tim Vorwald, familiar with that tractor, the Barnyard Buck at 302.58. Third was Jeremy Dahl with the 2 bottom binder, 301.94. Fourth was Mark Roberts with the Forcinet John Deere at 301 and 18. Fifth, Nick Pickerel with the Burning Cash White 160, another white. That's cool. 296 and 50. Sixth was Ronnie Neal with the Kids Inheritance 1466, 295.86. Dominic Holdgraffer was seventh with Mama's Money at 289 and 70. And rounding out the finals was at eighth was Nathan Simon with the John Deere 4455 called Wild Child at 262 and 38. So there's another finals class. 2000 limited mini rod. Let's see. There was 18 tractors. Dominic Pekka took the win with just one more at 329.28. Wow, you're getting up there.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. Second was Mike Evans with a tractor called It's No Joke at 328.92. Third was Art Klein with Playing for Keeps at 319.88. Fourth was Zach Jasper with Thunderstruck at 318.72. And fifth was Eric Harmison with the Backdraft at 316.10. And I will say, an old guy I haven't seen in quite a while is Jay Butson was sixth with the E15 at 315 and 18. So, and there's Perry Butson, Stacy Butson was in there. Greg Vandervoort was 12th. Obviously, you know, being a naturally aspirated tractor for Greg. So, interesting. Paper stuck together. I got one more. Excuse me. The 5250 Heritage Pro Stock. 8 tractors. I just read them all.
Yeah.
First was Dale Marling with the 560 International, 313.22. Second was Mike Yilley with the 560 International Black Magic, 312.26. Third, Josh Eichenberg with the Minneapolis Moline G6. Another color. Love it. 310.02. Fourth was Rich Simon with the Oliver 88 at 309 and 70. Fifth was Jim Matzenbacher. Okay, got that right, didn't I? John Deere G, rated experimental at 302.88. Sixth was Ron Colweir with the John Deere G, called Big G, 293.88. And then we had a scratch, Ray Rexing, with his Farmwell 460. And a guy we all know as Flea, or Chris Karoff, with his John Deere 4010 Buck Nasty, was scored a DQ. So,
come on, man.
Speed or what happened, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, Flea was scored a DQ. A lot of fun. I miss seeing him too. He was always a good guy to talk to. He's if you go to Gordyville, you're not familiar with him. He always ran the roller.
Yep, so, he did this year too. And he usually wears a crazy shirt or a wig or a hat.
Always something crazy. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good guy. I miss seeing him. So you're next.
So Logger John asked a question there on the YouTube. I do not pull regularly. I share seat time. But I pull one of Vern Zerby's tractors, whichever one he'll let me on the seat for. So whatever I can drive, I will. So
you ever know this saying or the song is she'll throw stones at you? In this case, this lady will throw billet rods at you. Keep that. Don't make her mad.
Not everybody can break a billet rod in half, but this girl can.
She'll make you scratch your head.
So there was, I think, 3 finals classes in session 4. So we'll just blaze through them quick. The first class we'll go over was the 6,000.
You have plenty of time. You don't have to go quick.
Yeah. Logger John, we pull in the 8,500 mod turbo class here with the interstate circuit. So 540 cubic inch unlimited turbo, a pump tractor to give you an idea there.
And every once in a while, we'll see
every now and again
come over and run in the Super Pro class with these East Coast Pro pulling. We're going to call them now. And then also we have an 8,500 limited Pro.
Yep.
Light Pro.
Light Pro. Yeah, sometimes he will put the P pump on and go run with the Light Pro class. So anyway, back to Gordywana. Enough about me. The 6,000 limited super stock final. First place went to Steve Zenz with the white 125 with the Z ride. Speaking of Z's. Second place went to Chad Zakow with the IH 666 with another bad habit. That tractor impressed me. He had beautiful runs every time I watched him pull. That
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, I know how to make her stop. That question,
Well,
I
like, it
think,
was like blue. Like I was like, wait, what's that?
that question is probably going to be best answered if you go to what'ssmoking.net,
Mhm.
and I'm sure there's some rules listed there somewhere, and that'll give you the inch and cubic inch rules and stuff. I know some of our guys were 466 tractors, and I know they were pulling in much bigger cubic inch classes. So
Yeah.
the Snyder County guys are 540, but I will say the Snyder County guys are still learning to set their
Double cut.
tractors up with double cut
Mhm.
tires because they just went to double cut tires for the 2021 season coming up. So
Mhm.
they're still learning. They're in a learning curve. So I'm not making excuses, but they're 460. Some of them are 466 tractors, but there are 540 Snyder County tractors who are running. Probably only on their first or second, third, maybe third hook with double
Mhm.
cut tires on. So yeah, it's a learning curve for them still. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. Third place in the 6,000 limited super stock class was Brian Miller with the Case 970 called Case of Alcoholism. Fourth place was Floyd Shingleton with the Semper Fi Case IH. And fifth place was Jamie Barger with the Haywire Case IH.
I agree, Ralph. That's probably my favorite Zerby
Yeah.
tractor too.
Yep, that's one sharp looking tractor.
Yes, it is.
And I'm not being partial there.
Liar.
The 9,500 Hot Farm Finals was in session 4 as well. First place went to Warren Loofborough with the Still Fueling Around. Second place was Marty Chambord with the Mayhem IH 1466. Third place was Brian Carrington with the Endless Case IH. Fourth place went to, I will call him local just because he was from out here, Chad Nesselrod from Harrisonburg, Virginia, on the Recap This. Fifth place was Kevin Smith with the Buckshot Reloaded. And then the last final class we'll go over is the 12,000 farm stocks. First place went to Josh Heydrich with Jenny's Worst Nightmare. And then second place went to Kayla. So pretty good weekend there for the Heydrich family with Jenny's Nightmare. Third place went to Gene Flanagan with the Smokin' Hot IH 1066. Fourth place was Adam Moore with his IH 1466. And fifth place was Jerry Cardinal with My Wife's Diamond.
That's a good one. I like that
Yeah.
one. Don't mind me. I spill coffee everywhere.
I was gonna say, I was like, he disappeared.
I'm still
The next class we'll go over is the 9,700 limited pro stock class. There was 19 of them in this class. We'll go over the top 5. First place went to Gage Ott out of Wineside, Nebraska with One Bad Apple. Second place went to Kevin Lindstrom with the Hyper Harvester. Third place went to John Kutz with the Diggin' Deer. Fourth place went to Tom Gallitz with Runnin' Red Hot. And with the Meyer Performance Farmall 1206. What is a Zerby tractor?
Your video froze up there for a second. Read us
Oh,
the last two there.
the last two?
The last two, the class you just did.
Oh, the last two of the 97 limited pro stock. Fourth place was Tom Gallitz with the Runnin' Red Hot. And fifth place was John Meyer Jr. with Meyer Performance Farmall 1206.
There we go. Okay.
What
Longer
is this
John,
Zerby
why don't you
tractor?
just take a second real quick before you start another class, being as you're part of Team Zerby. Just go ahead and he wants to know what a Zerby tractor is.
So a Zerby tractor is definitely going to be a red tractor. He has both the old style Internationals as well as a Case Puma. And they're all Z related. So you have Z Unit, Dr. LZ, Double OZ, and Z Mistress. So he has 4 of them up that he owns and pilots. And pretty much if there's an interstate pull going on, you're going to see at least 3 of the Zerby tractors. So he is my team captain and owner, we'll call him.
Yeah.
The next class we'll go over from Friday night session 4 will be the 8700 Light Pro Stock class. And as I mentioned before, that's the one that had the 14 full pulls. So we'll just go ahead and say them all because they were all full pulls. We don't know who, some people let out sooner than others, so you don't really know where people ended up with. So we'll just go down the list here and name the top 14. Kendall Beasley with the Higher Harvester, Adam Linnell with One Bad Binder, Joe Moore with Dirty Deeds, Sean Thornhill, who had Mike Palmer in the seat with the Missy's Pissy, Justin Hopkins with Just Getting Started, Henry Smith with the Sneaky Snake, which is a sharp-looking international, Jeff Michelacci with Demented, Gary Holman with the Power Hound, Adam Diaz made it out with Whiskey Business, Hunter Beasley with the Farmer's Pride, Kevin Smith with Flirtin' with Deer's Aster, Tommy Stryker with the Green Blood, Brian Huff with Aces and 8, and Howard Meredith, the local guy there on the shore, with Meredith's Agitator.
So was Howard driving or Jamie?
Yes, Howard was driving. Other notable ones in that class was Jason Forrester with the Papa Smurf at 300.046. So he was 5 feet behind the full pull mark. They set a full pull mark of 305. We'll call them Pennsylvanians here was Justin Martin with his Case IH 7220. As well as then Tommy Williams with the Firestorm was 22nd. Austin Martin, which is Justin's brother, he debuted his tractor out there that they're calling Floor Sweepings because in his mind it was all the leftovers from Big Brother's tractor there. Okay. Jimmy Williams was out there with Cadillac Red, and then Adam House with the Black and Blue, as well as Blue Unit. And unfortunately on Blue Unit, he went out of bounds. Had a beautiful run going, and there at the very end just went a little bit off to the right, and they had to DQ him.
That happens, unfortunately.
Yep. So the last class from session 4 was the 9300 Super Farm class. We'll go over again the top 5. Lee Butts with the Press-On IH 1066 took first place. Second and third were both Jeff Perry's tractors from California.
Yeah, California.
So he made the trip well worth it by finishing 2 of his tractors in the top 3. Back for More was second place, and third place was Power Trip. Fourth place was Jason Benser with Plastic Money, and fifth place was Nick Capozzo with Cruel Intentions.
I love the Plastic Money name. That's good.
Yeah. Try to think. I don't see anybody else. Oh, Brad McFarland with the Untamed John Deere 6030 was 16th place. Frank Payne with Pure Luck was out there. And then Chad Nesselrod did swap turbos out and tried to pull with this class. Definitely was underpowered here. So he ended up 22nd out of 23 tractors.
Very good.
But
yeah, that's Untamed John Deere is a past Super Farm champion at Keystone Nationals. So.
Yep.
And while I got a break here, we're at 50 minutes already, so I'm going to take one.
Yeah.
like, subscribe, share, give us thumbs up. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, thumbs down. They count too. If you don't like us, thumbs down. Sorry.
Oh, don't not like us.
We prefer a thumbs up. Well, if they don't, it's because of me. I mean, you got Club Kendra. They're not gonna dislike Club Kendra. So
yeah,
don't ask.
True.
It's a long story if you don't know about Club Kendra. But
join it. No.
we we've niched the 2021 calendars, so we're not
Yeah,
going to
we've
do
already missed it, so no point in starting in
that. That's
February.
right. So, but we appreciate you guys coming here and asking questions. And starting next week, we'll get back to having guests
Mhm.
because we will pretty much have. And there was a pool in Florida as well this past weekend, and I do know Lynn Brookhart with the Radio Reactor got a win in the modified class, and I also know Corey Forster's new three-engine modified tractor took a win.
Mhm.
I'm sure Dale Forster was driving then, but
Yeah, Corey was with me, so
yeah. And
he definitely wasn't driving.
I talked to Jeff King. He did well with his high cutting
Mhm.
466 hot for him down there, taking a second, a third, and I think a fourth. He pulled three times, I believe he said. I was unable to ascertain any results outside of that, so good job.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead with session 5 here quick. I want to buzz through them, give you top fives. 8,000 Pro Street Diesel four-wheel drive trucks. Yep, he runs them too. Taking
Mhm.
the win was Ray J. Rent with the Wicked White Knight at 297 and 50. Second was Clint Bader with the Tough Decisions Dodge, 284 and 14. Third, Russ Harms, Dodge Ram called In Harm's Way, 283.48. Fourth was Steve Muller with the Chevrolet Duramax lit up, 283.36. And fifth was Evan Rusk with his Dodge called Quality Diesel at 282 and 38. Those are your top five. And there was 11 trucks in the class. I'm kind of rushing through for a reason. I got a big Windows update, I guess, and I set it for 920 restart. So
Oh,
we're
better
okay.
hurry.
We're okay. 11,000 Pro Farm. This would be a finals. It doesn't say finals, but it should be a finals class.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a top 8, but taking the win was Kurt Geckner with the John Deere 5020, the calibrated buck. No distances. Second was Kevin Stumler with his 6030 called the Mule Deer 2 Extreme. Mule Deer 2 Extreme.
Mhm.
And Kevin Stumler was also third with his 6030 called the Mule Deer. A lot of history with that tractor, I'm sure, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Fourth was John Rue with the Oliver 2250 called Wildcat. Fifth was Dan Castenson with the Minneapolis Moline G1000 called Gold Rush. And then we had Lewis McChrystal, Steve Rice, and Terry Trailer were all scratches. They didn't come back for the finals. So, and then that class, no distances. I didn't notice I printed them out. But anyway, of course, if I printed what was there, so they didn't have the distances listed, I guess.
Yeah.
So I could have went to this website and got them. But anyway, lesson learned. 9,000 limited pro stock qualifier, big class, 25 tractors, limited pro. Taking the win, Jeff Michelacci with the Demented Puma, Case IH Puma 140 at 295.94. Second was Adam Lunow with the One Bad Binder 1466 at 291.84. Third was Kevin Smith with the Flirting with Deer's Aster John Deere at 290 and 68. Fourth was Davy Jones out of North Carolina,
Mhm.
with the Hoss International 966 at 287.50. And fifth was Hunter Beasley with the Farmer's Pride at 285.20. And I will go ahead and go on to sixth place was Kendall Beasley
Mhm.
with the High Gear Harvester at 283.62. Seventh, Jamie Hall with Meredith's Agitator at 280.14. And we'll go down eighth place. Eighth place was, I don't know how many they took to the finals. I'm just going to go to our East
8.
tractors.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then Leon Spear would have been the final tractor to make it. The 4020 with called Greenblood at 279.80. But I do know Adam Diaz, I think you'll find, was in the finals. So somebody must have dropped out or something.
Justin Hopkins was unable to come back, so they moved Adam up.
Justin Hopkins.
I think that's the class. Yeah.
And I don't see him listed here. But anyway, Adam Diaz did finish ninth with the Whiskey Business. 10th was Jason Forrester. Ron Beasley was 11th. Tommy Williams 12th. Adam House was 17th with Black and Blue. Justin Martin was 19th. Brad McFarland was 23rd. Justin Hopkins was 24th.
Oh, then maybe somebody else broke. I just
Yeah,
remember
well, we'll
Justin.
know.
Yeah, broke.
And Adam House, evidently with Blue Unit, didn't have something mechanically.
Oh, yeah, that's a
0.92,
whole nother story. That
Okay, moving on here. 6,500 limited super stock, 10 tractors. And we had Chad Sacco with the 666 International, Another Bad Habit, taking the win, 315.98. Second was David Zenz with the Z Ride at 303 and 70. Third was Floyd Shingleton with the Simplify Case IH at 297.54. Fourth was Kevin Shingleton with the Kentucky Gambler, John Deere, at 296 and 16. And fifth was Andrew Guller with the Minneapolis Moline 1000, with the called Bulletproof. I'm sorry, Bulletproof Not, 295.32. So, man, excuse me, guys, gals.
oh, better not cough too much. People will start talking.
Yeah, no COVID here that I know of. So. 9,000 Super Farm Final. 8 tractors taking the win. Marty Chambord with the Mayhem, 292.62. Second was Warren Loofborough with the Still Feeling Around Case IH Puma, 287.42. Third, Lance Mertens with the Legal Addiction, 286.02. Slow down there. Fourth was Roger Rue with the One Mean Farmer Case IH at 284.98. Fifth was Bonnie Darty. I'll say it that way. The High Price Hooker, 284.74. Sixth was Charlie Henson with the John Deere 4440, the State Line Hooker. Some of these names. 284.12. Seventh was Karen Bartling with the Possum at 282.50. And eighth was Colton Bartelt with the Just Getting Started International 5088 at 282 and 46. Moving on. 8,000 limited pro stock trucks, or I guess we'll call them the 3.0 trucks.
Yeah.
13 trucks in the class taking the win was C.W. Cartmel with Most Hated at 297 and 8. Second was Jason Wayman with the Dodge Megatron at 291.84. Third was Adam Kincaid with the Hill Brothers Dodge at 289 and 96. Fourth was John Humpy the fourth with the Troublemaker 2 Chevy at 289.66. And fifth was Ben Braunecker with the Coming At You Dodge at 287 and 40. And I'm looking, I don't see most everybody was Midwest there. So nice little class of trucks there, actually.
Yeah.
6,000 Classic Modified, 12 in the class. Top 5, Gary Frame took the win with the backdraft at 312 and 72. Second was Josh Van Horn with the Dirty Sexy Money Cockshot 40 at 320 and 40. Third, Ben Hothos with the Slow Burn Relit 311 and 01. Fourth was Chris Zankert with the Bleeding Green John Deere at 311 and 88. Fifth was Tom Janoski with the Minneapolis Moline U called Old Yeller at 311 and 01. Okay. Just looking for some other from I know most of those tractors I've seen before. And rounding out session 5, I don't know if this was the proper class order, just going by what was on the internet.
I was at Red Lobster. I have no idea.
The 2000 Limited Mini Rod Finals. Taking the win was Mike. There's 8 of them. I'll just read all 8 real quick and then turn it over to you. We're at 59 minutes. So, but Mike Evans, it's no joke. He took the win. Tractor Scott, it's no joke. 287.86. Second was Zach Jasper with the Thunderstruck at 287.42. Third was Dominic Pekka with the Just One More at 281.46. Fourth was Eric Harmison with the backdraft at 276.96. Fifth was Mark Shaley with the Wired Hot. That's actually usually it's hot wired, but it's Wired Hot. 271.80. Hey, cool to be different.
Original, yeah.
Donnie Jasper was 6th with the Thunderstruck 2.0 at 269 and 22. Seventh was Jay Butson with the E15 at 265 .32, and rounding out the finals there for that class was Art Klein, playing for keeps at 261 and 48. And Kendra is going to wrap up the final session for us.
I do have to get a quick shout out. I just got a text message. Brian Yeager is tuning in tonight.
Hey, Brian, how you doing, buddy? Awesome.
And he always talks so nice about me, so I got to talk nice about him, I guess, for a little bit.
That's great.
Yeah, Brian's an announcer here, and he always does a good job of hyping me up here before I go down the track. So,
well, darn the
luck! Shout out to him.
Darn the luck, we'll have to have him on sometime, huh?
Yep. I actually heard a couple stories about him this weekend, so gonna have a few questions for him.
Oh boy, run and hide, Brian.
All right, yes. So I get to talk about the big show, Session 6, Saturday Night Finals.
It's not about Corey. We're talking. It's not about Corey.
The other big show. You know. First class we'll go over is the 6,500 limited super stocks. Taking first place was Chad Zakro with the IH 666 with the Another Bad Habit. So Diesel won that class. So I guess of the 4 times they pulled, the gasser with the white won 3 times, and then Chad Zakal took the first place in the finals. Second place was the white with the Z Ride with David Zenz. Third place went to Floyd Shingleton with the Semper Fi. Fourth place went to Kevin Shingleton with the Kentucky Gambler. And fifth place was Derek McIntyre with the Oliver 1850 On a Mission. Next class we'll go over is the 11,000 Pro Farm Finals. First place went to Kurt Gokenauer with the Calibrated Buck. Second was Kevin Stumler with the Mule Deer 2 Extreme. Third place was Dan Kastensen with the Gold Rush. And fourth place went to Kevin Stumler with the Mule Deer. And fifth place was John Rue with the Wildcat. Next class we'll go over is the 8,500 Limited Pro Stock Finals. First place was Roger Rue with the One Mean Farmer. Second was Esden Bartling with the Possum.
At least he wasn't a wonky farmer.
There was a lot of wonkiness at this pool. Third place with the 85 Limited Pros was Dave Doherty with the High Price Hooker. Fourth place was Wayne Tedder with the Machine Shed Rocket. And fifth place went to Marty driving Smokey's tractor of Fast Forward. And Ben Flaherty ended up 7th on Smokin' Red.
We just had Ben on a couple weeks ago. And I want to say something. Wayne Tedder's tractor has got to be one of my favorite names for a pulling tractor, Machine Shed Rocket.
Machine Shed. And it's sharp looking. Yeah. 1456 sheet metal.
He's had nice several looks over the years. With doing Clint's indoor pulls, but that name's always caught my attention.
Mm-hmm. Next class we'll go over is the 8,700 Light Pro Stock class. First place went to Kendall Beasley with the High Gear Harvester. Second place went to Sean Thornhill with Missy's Pissy, which that is actually his wife passed away and her name was Missy. So he actually built this tractor after she passed away and named it Missy's Pissy. So that's a cool little story there with that tractor. Third place is Kevin Smith with Flirtin' with Deer Zaster. Fourth place was Adam Linnell with One Bad Binder. Fifth place went to Hunter Beasley with the Farmer's Pride. That kid had a good weekend. Going down for our locals, seventh place was Adam Diaz with Whiskey Business. Howard ended up 9th with the Meredith Agitator. Jeff Michelacci with Demented was 10th place. And yeah, that's it for 87 Light Pro Stock.
We're getting there.
we're getting there. We're almost through it, people. Next, we'll go into the 9,000 Limited Pro Stocks, which is a lot of the same tractors we just heard about. First place here went to Dewey Jones with Hoss. Second went to Kendall Beasley. So he had a pretty good night. First in the 87 Light Pro, second in the Limited Pros.
The Beasley family usually doesn't disappoint. They're usually pretty
No.
tough.
Yeah. Ron was having some issues with his. I think he said there was an issue with the injector, and maybe an exhaust valve, I think he said. So tough luck for him, but the other two tractors did really well. Third place was Kevin Smith with Flirtin' with Deer Zaster. Adam with Whiskey Business got fourth, and Jeff Michelacci was fifth with Demented, and Howard was seventh with Meredith's Agitator on there. We're down to three more classes. The 97 Limited Pro Stock Finals. First place went to John Meyer Jr. with Meyer Performance. Second place went to Jeff Bale with the Dr. Deere. Third place went to, not sure who was driving, it just says James and Jim Calvary with the Pickin' and Grinnin' John Deere. Fourth place went to Sean Work with the Full Rut. And fifth place went to John Coots with the Diggin' Deer. Next, we'll go to the 9300 Super Farms. First place went to Brian Deck with the Dream On. Second went to Lee Butts with the Press On. Third place went to Jason Benser with Plastic Money. Fourth place went to Nick Capozzo with Cruel Intentions. And fifth place went to Jeff Perry, the California driver there with Back for More. And the last class, the big show.
Oh no, we ain't gonna talk about that class.
I get to talk about the 7800 Pro Stock diesel trucks.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we talk about the winner of this class,
we're gonna
he
talk
will
about
be
him.
on this show. Okay,
good luck.
just telling you.
First,
count it down from fifth down to first.
Let's do that.
Let's do something different.
Well, we'll give a shout out to Andy Grove with the bad timing. He ended up 8th place. Got to hopping pretty bad. Problem that truck has had, but I'm sure we'll get it figured out. 5th place went to Brent Meyer with the Lincoln Diesel Special. 4th place went to Jared Rip with the Farmer's Nightmare. 3rd place went to John Hump IV with Causing Trouble. 2nd place went to Jamie Lars with the Lincoln Diesel Specialties. And first place
John Mans, man. What a I'm sorry, that's the wrong pool.
No, John Mans wasn't there. First place went to the one and only Norm Newswanger, Chapter
Pickle.
11, The Pickle. And even though he didn't thank me in the acceptance speech, I did get a Facebook shout out. So, but in his defense, I promised him a snack bag for the road trip, and he didn't get one. So I will take partial blame there.
No candy for you, Norm. Sorry.
But no,
good.
Super happy for him to go out there. I think the trucks were out there 1 year before at the Gordyville location. Mm-hmm. And first time he'd been out there, I don't want to say I had something to do with it, but I probably had something to do with it. Getting him out there.
Not at all.
I mean, I did submit his application for him, so.
Right. But what a show. Huge show.
It was an awesome show. I'll definitely go back. Not a doubt, not a question. And I think at least 95% of the pullers would say the same.
Yeah, Larry K just had said, well, I'll just put it up here for you to read. But actually, Larry, they are planning already for a 2022 show there. Mm-hmm. So,
I'm not sure if they'll go back to their original weekend in January, if they'll stick with here the first weekend of February.
I'm hoping he does both. I'm hoping he does
that would be cool.
Gordyville and Shipshewana. So,
yep,
that would be cool. So,
yeah, that would be nice. I guess we'll see what announcements come out here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear anything bad. I mean, I've talked to some people, but I have not heard anything bad whatsoever. So, I would say another pool there is in order. So I know the staff at the Michiana people want another event, and I'm sure Clint's going to do everything he can to make it happen. So Yeah,
Yeah,
looks
they
like they'll
all
be back
seemed
there.
happy. Yep.
But real quick, I've had a scroller running down below us there.
Yep.
Before we close out tonight, I want to include, which we'll talk about every week, and I'll may even try to have one of the guys from that promotions to come on one evening. And got to share screen here. Sorry, we're working here, trying to hurry up. But
Oh.
well, that wasn't what I had in mind. It's really not a disco. Uh, I don't know why that's happening. That's a first. But anyway, it's still fluttering on my screen, so I don't know what's going on. But it's the first annual Southern Virginia Winter Classic in the spring, as they say, indoor antique tractor pull, March 26th and 27th of 2021 at the Old Dominion Ag Complex in Chatham, Virginia. It's US Route 29 in Chatham, Virginia, just north of Danville, Virginia, if you will, before you get into Carolina. But several classes, two sleds, two tracks. It's their first go round, and from what I understand, they yes, I know. But a notification popped up. It's time to restart your computer. It's getting ready to do it, so I got to hurry along here. But make plans for that. We'll talk more about it as well, and you can go to their website and pre-register if you got an antique tractor you want to pull. All their information is on their website at www.swatgea or SWATGEA, as I call it, pulling.org. Okay, but it's been scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and we'll every Wednesday night we'll have information on it, and hopefully we'll get to put it up here. Let me see if I don't understand that. There we go.
There it's
Just one of the computer things, I guess. But yeah, definitely. That's if you're coming just to watch the show, it's $10 to get in. I'm sure they'll have food there. I would imagine so. And there's motels just north of the pool, about 5 to 10 minutes north. I can't think of the name of the town off the top of my head, but it's right on US 29. There's a Hampton Inn, and a couple other places. So definitely, if you want to get out before the regular pulling season starts, we hope.
mm-hmm.
Come check out. And what I like about the antique, what's really brought me into it, met some great people with the Delmarva tractor pullers. Um, it's the color. You never know. Obviously, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
see your international or your Farmalls, John Deere, Minneapolis Moline, Olivers, anything. It's amazing what you'll see at an antique pull. And the faster mile per hour classes are actually, yeah, they get down track pretty good. So looking forward to it. We're going to be there filming both tracks all weekend, shooting photos, all that good stuff. So we'll be there. We hope you are
Yep.
too. That's all I have, Kendra. I've run out of voice. So
Chris Baker, I do not know the answer to that. I know we're starting to work on the interstate schedule right now. We're looking at potentially May, but everything is up in the air now. I think anybody is afraid to commit to, yep, we're having it.
I'm
I know
thinking,
Snyder County released their dates, and I think they have
Mhm.
one in May, like May 12th, maybe, for some reason. That's
Yeah,
sticking
they're
out.
probably one of the early ones. I know East Coast Pro Pulling has a limited schedule out already, with
Hmm.
more coming. And I know all the buck dates are on there. They usually start in May, uh, providing there's no COVID crap going on.
Yeah.
And thank you, Toro. And I think Greensboro might actually have a date ahead of that. I know they're also on the schedule. So
Hmm.
Greensboro, Maryland. I apologize I don't have those dates, but we are going to start getting all that stuff rounded up and getting on here, and we're probably going to make John come on here, John and Gloria, and start going over some of that stuff. So we want to get the word out there, and any of them, Snyder County, Interstate. Of course, we got Kendra,
Yeah.
but we can always bring somebody. They're welcome to come on, talk about
Yep.
their clubs and the events they got coming up, and what they're doing to hopefully defeat this COVID and make some events happen. So that's what we're hoping. There's going to be some pullers. I'm thinking I might have Irv Clark on next. That's what I'm thinking, with the Taz Toy Two Wheel Drive pulling team, and that'll be a treat. I'm sure we
Hmm.
can have plenty to talk about with Irv. If anybody knows Irv Clark, I got to call him. I haven't called him, and it snowed here and got me tied up that last weekend. So, but I will be getting in touch with him, and if we don't have him, we'll have somebody on next Wednesday. And there's a big pool in the Poconos. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. So next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, as always, we'll be here. We got some bad weather coming, I hear, starting tonight. So everybody be careful out there in your travels. And Kendra, if that's all, I'm going to go ahead and I got to, or my computer's going to shut us down whether we want it to or not. So thank you, Logger John. We appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. So we'll see you next week, 8 o'clock. Like, subscribe, share it around, man. Get us out there. Thumbs up. We appreciate thumbs up, thumbs down. They all count. But if you got a thumbs down, send us a message. Let us know why, and we'll work on it. So until then, we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.